Well, Cray, thank you for joining us, albeit a little bit late. We started the entire shindig and you weren't even here yet.
It's here. We just went live. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm right
You
on
made it
time.
just in the nick of time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us tonight as we talk about and break down AEW Revolution. Specifically, we'll probably cover a little bit of Monday Night Raw last night, maybe, if there's anything noteworthy of it. Specifically, a lot of this show is going to be based around Revolution. And Martin, I know you watched. Great, did you get a chance to watch? You follow along? How'd you digest this content this previous weekend?
I read about it.
You read about it.
I read about it. I got you guys
All right.
in here.
Let's get the awkward ending out of the way first. I don't even want to wait. I'm not gonna make that joke. Actually, that's a bad joke. So, what did you think about the ending? Crickets.
Who are you talking to? Martin.
Does not matter.
Martin always goes first. Martin, what you got?
Alright, so this is what I think. So when I saw the ending, I was like, wow. At first, because I was like, what? And that was unexpected because they were all hyping up to be like, the ring's gonna explode or something big is gonna happen. But no, it's just sparklers. But to me, it shouldn't really take away from how good this match was. It was a good match, but the ending, it should take away from what the match really was. Also, Eddie Kingston was amazing during the ending.
I strongly disagree. Had everything gone correctly, I think Eddie Kingston would have came out of this looking superb. But the way Eddie Kingston sold it did not at all make it look good and believable.
Yeah, I think somebody forgot to tell him that it was not that. I think might have been some miscommunication between AEW and Eddie Kingston because I think Eddie Kingston thought that the ring was gonna do something, but no, it was just sparklers. So
okay, I think the ring was supposed to do something.
Yeah,
I don't think the sparklers was the actual ending. Thirsty Dawn, the ending was worse by everyone selling it, and I fully agree. It was sold like it actually exploded, and that made it so much worse. No selling it would have done the same thing. So it was a give and take. I mean, there was no winning this situation once, and this isn't something that they could very easily control. It was out of their control. There was no good situation for it. It is what it is. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, obviously, a lot of it's already been said. They could have saved it, though. They definitely could have saved it. Excuse me. Dean Ambrose mentioned, I believe he got up and cut a promo to the crowd saying something like, yeah, Kenny Omega doesn't know how to build a death trap or something like that. See, if you just would have taken that ball and ran with it for an entire week, and then on the next Dynamite, Moxley cuts a promo, or someone saying, yeah, Kenny Omega obviously rigged it in case he lost, so he didn't explode, then everyone could have been like, oh, okay, that sucks, but makes sense. But no, Eddie Kingston selling it like death the entire time kind of ruined that. But the guy never opened his eyes, so like he didn't really know it was nothing, I guess.
I heard what Moxley said. I really thought it was difficulties.
Brian Defoe says, I wasn't a big fan of the main event because I don't love violence, but the whole match was ruined because the ending was absolutely horrible. The commentators talking like something horrific happened was so bad. So, I fully agree. Me and Brian on AEW side of things, we don't normally get along. Me and him are polar opposites when it's AEW. However, nobody was expecting what happened. And you could tell when the sparklers went off, you knew right away it was wrong. You knew right away that's not what's supposed to happen. If you've ever seen any sort of barbed wire death match, and mind you, I've never watched a full barbed wire death match. I've only ever seen the endings because that's what you really pay to see in these things. You knew right away either this was part of the storyline, wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, quite frankly, or there was technical difficulties. Now they have to clean up the mess on Wednesday, whether they like it or not. But it's not going to be with Mox. That's why it was after it went off the air that Mox cut that promo, because this was the way to get Mox off screen so Renee can have that baby. Mox ain't coming back unless they have to bring him back for this specifically. For this, like, hey, I'm going away. I'm about to have a baby. Be upfront and honest. Like, I'm gone for now. I'm about to have a baby. I'll be back. And when I come back, sure the death match or the barbed wire death match is built the right way. That's the only way you can salvage this at this point. Unless you have Eddie Kingston step in and be like, I'll build it this time. Like, either way, they're backed up against the wall because of this technical difficulty. And it was quite possible. I personally think that it's probably the best that Shaq decided that the NBA All-Star game was more important than AEW pay-per-view. Because imagine all of the fresh new faces looking at that, they're like, what the fuck did I just watch? Shaq choosing to be on Dynamite on Wednesday instead of the pay-per-view on Sunday is a small blessing in disguise. Because they got all those new eyes on the episode of Dynamite, and they didn't have to worry about it. Got a couple of comments here. It doesn't make sense. How would Kenny have been able to rig it? So the storyline that AEW built in all this is that Kenny built the death match. Kenny built the entire structure. So he got to rig it however he wanted, and that is an easy. They do have an easy out right there. I think they should take it because how else are you gonna go about this? So Kenny built it. Kenny created it, and it's kind of just how they sold it. And then talking about the death, that shit blows the fuck up. So, I have to. So, the only thing people remember is the ending. So I have a hard time saying that the rest of the show was relatively good. It was an entertaining, good show, but that ending was so bad that it overshadowed everything. Now, Martin, what do you think? Because Craig didn't actually watch the entire thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. I was entertained. It was a fun night wrestling. And wrestling, I want to be entertained, and I want to enjoy it. And that's what Revolution did, despite the ending.
So there were two surprises throughout the course of the night, one being the sixth entrant in the ladder match, and one being a big Hall of Fame worthy signing. Now, I just want to pat myself on the back here. I went 2 for 2. I was right on both of them. The ladder match one was a little bit harder. A lot of people were saying RVD. This man right here said all ego Ethan Page last week on this show. I was right. It was all ego Ethan Page, and I'm glad he's all elite. Let's talk about Ethan Page first. Craig, what do you think?
Who?
It was some indie guy because all AEW does is sign former WWE talents.
Right.
So it was just some indie guy nobody's ever heard of.
I'm looking at him. He looks like a teenage Gargano. So that's.
Wait, do you not actually know who Ethan Page is?
I've heard the name. I've heard the name, man. That's all I got. He was on Impact, right?
He was part of the North in Impact Wrestling. They held the titles for a year. He's Josh Alexander's tag team partner.
Yep, I was pretty whelmed. Like, cool for him. I don't know why AEW keeps doing these signings though, and then they lose. It just kind of takes the shine off of it. I feel like it happens every single time. Give him a win.
I don't mind the whole Ethan Page coming in a ladder match and losing, as long as he looks good. Then let's see where it goes from there. Thirsty Dawn followed along on Twitter, and I'm gonna guess that's Reddit Squared Circle.
Yep.
I think okay. Just wanted to make sure I was correct on that. I like Ethan Page. I like Josh Alexander as his tag team partner. So I don't quite know where. I don't know. AEW's roster is starting to get extremely bloated. Nobody's
They go on
being
dark.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see everybody on freaking dark.
Or what's that Martin Elevation?
Yeah, AEW Evolution, yeah, that.
That's where they're going.
I don't think that Elevation is going to be used for the main roster guys. From the way they're talking, it sounds like it's going to be like the guys out of the Nightmare Factory and the guys that aren't on dark winning every match against some nobodies. It's going to be the nobodies versus the nobodies. That's what it sounds like. I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like.
Is Ethan Page a somebody?
Ethan Page
Is
is
he?
indeed a somebody.
Is he?
Yeah.
All
Ethan
right.
Page is indeed
I'll take your word for it, but
think about Christian.
Oh, I got a lot of things to say about that one. All right, so I thought it was a pretty good sign. So first off, when I saw the countdown, I immediately thought it was Christian because the countdown and the way it was presented, it reminded me of when Christian debuted in TNA, and that was the same exact way he debuted. And it was great. It was great. I think it's gonna be a great addition to the AEW roster. And to me, he's gonna help the young guys a lot.
So after this, we obviously got the comment. And Brian, I'm going to get you to comment in 1 second after I make this point. I'm getting really tired of people being like, oh, well, they're just signing WWE rejects. All right, well, first off, WWE wasn't going to let Christian wrestle to begin with in a actual long-term storyline. Let's make that very clear. Number two, when Tom Brady left the New England Patriots, was it, oh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting the New England Patriots scraps? New England Patriots rejects. No, people don't work out in one company. That's what a football team is. A football team is a single company. So they go to another company where they're a better fit. Look at Brody Lee. Oh, he's a WWE reject. No, actually, if you want to get technical, he was in Ring of Honor before he was in WWE. He was in CZW before he was in Ring of Honor. Before CZW, he was over in SCU. There was a company out there that I can't think of the name off the top of my head right now. But so WWE is picking up all these indie rejects if you want to get really technical. But no, in reality, it's WWE's hoarding talent, but they're not the right fit. So they go to another company. It doesn't literally fucking matter who you were with before. It's what you're doing at that moment. Christian Cage is now with the AEW side. Fuck the WWE. It does not matter in the conversation. It does not exist in this conversation. It's what is Christian Cage going to do with AEW? End of story. That's it. Not what he did with TNA. Not what he did with WWE. Not what he did with ECW's branded WWE. And none of that matters anymore. Now he's with AEW. This is the piece of his career he's on. And this is where he ends up potentially being a better fit. Maybe he's a bad fit. We don't know yet. But he's not a WWE reject. In fact, WWE wanted to sign him. They couldn't come to terms on an agreement, and AEW swooped in and snagged him because he is a marketable name. Now, Brian, the whole pay-per-view itself, to me, was a major letdown. I am not a huge AEW fan, I will admit, but I was super excited for this show. But to me, after the first hour of the show just dragged on, most of the matches were just boring. AEW also have to quit hiring people. So we already established, they're getting a bloated roster. 100%. Anybody disagree with that?
You got to remember, though, signings like Christian aren't just, to be a wrestler. Christian is one of the most technically sound guys coming out of the 2000s. And I really think he's going to be able to teach those kids something good. Same thing with Paul White. Like, he's not there. Yeah. Same thing with Big Show. He's not there to wrestle guys. He's going to teach other rookies how to wrestle. It's going to be great. And yeah, if they have Dark going and then Elevation, they have a lot of stuff going on. I think we just got to sit back and Tony Khan's a smart business guy. He wouldn't be signing all these people if there wasn't a reason for it.
I think
we'll
there's
see.
a plan coming that we just aren't privy to yet. There has to be a second show coming. For him to continue adding to the roster at the rate that he is, there has to be a second TV show coming. So going back to that comment, Brian, we're talking to you. I don't know. As soon as we got past the Face of the Revolution ladder match and we went into the Shida match, all right, I knew that was going to be a boring match. Shida hasn't had a formidable opponent, and the Japanese style just doesn't appeal to me personally. So I was out on that match. I actually was at a family member's house watching it on my phone, and that's when I literally saw that match was starting. Went, all right, babe, time to go home. So we drove home, and then we went into, I think it was Miro 4th, which was again another match that I exactly thought it was going to be. Super boring. But the street fight. How can you knock that street fight? That was so good.
Yeah, one way you can knock it out, by the commentary. That's the only way.
Okay. I'm not watching that street fight for the fucking commentary, though. In a cinematic match like that, you could do away with commentary completely. In fact, if Excalibur just shut the fuck up 90% of the time, I'd be a lot happier with AEW's product.
Jay Daravong in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, once again, for the 3rd out of 4 weeks, he thinks he's too popular on the trading yard and can't join us again. Thirsty Don says that AEW could really use Christian in a backstage role. Bully Ray even made that clear. I'm guessing she's referring to Busted Open Radio. I haven't listened to
That's
it
a
in
boy.
a little bit. Thirsty Don also says, aren't you supposed to be on a train, Jay? Looking at you. Oh, is this another supposed to be your situations? As always, guys, if you have any questions regarding, and since we're talking about AEW Revolution, any questions regarding anything, feel free to ask. We'll gladly answer to the best of our abilities. What do you guys think about, what you read, Kraith and Martin, you watching? What do you think about the very first match on the pre-show? Mika Ito? Mika Ito and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Nyla Rosa. I have that team. I have that all mixed up. But those were the people in it. We'll just go with that.
I loved it. I work super hard for Maki Ito. Her Twitter game is one of the best I've ever seen from a wrestler. It's just fantastic. And Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker are great. So I don't know. I was super excited going in. The ring work was a little, it was good. It was serviceable.
Rio. Sorry, it was Rio in the match.
Yeah, Rio, Rosa, Baker, Ito. Yeah. But no, I think it was a good showing. And I know they're not really AEW regulars, at least for Rosa and Ito, but I think the AEW is finally starting to build a small foundation in their women's division. But no, I was excited.
I didn't really. It wasn't special. It was just a usual pre-match, probably pre-show match to get the crowd hyped up for the show. To be honest, I
strongly disagree, my man. There's one piece of this match that stood out immensely to me. Riho has Americanized her style significantly. And it looks like that's what this match was supposed to do. Because Riho looked like she Americanized her style. She didn't have your usual Japanese style. No idea what is her name again?
Maki Ito.
Maki Ito. Never heard of her until Revolution happened. Never.
Look her up on Twitter. She's fantastic.
Yeah. I actually thought they were going to debut. You're talking about this?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
I'm telling you got to check her Twitter. Okay. Cornette, I think Cornette went off on her, and then she basically responded with, yeah, that's... Because he called her a piece of crap, and she's like, yeah, I'm the king of crap. It was great.
Oh,
She's
ladies
adorable.
and gentlemen, it's a very, very, very special guest. Guys, let's not tell anybody where he is this time.
I am in locations unknown. See, what it really was I was trying to head my booty over to Wyoming to go ahead and show Jake what a super kick really tastes like. And now I'm lost somewhere in the middle of nowhere, definitely not at work, you know. That's what it is.
Just to clarify for everybody, he was trying to find his way to Wisconsin and went too far and ended up in Wyoming, which is why he can't find me.
Makes sense to me. So,
Jay, how much of Revolution did you watch?
I was on a train.
Of course you were.
But one thing I did want to one talking point that you guys ended up bringing up that I am a little weary of is the fact that the bloated roster in AEW is starting to get a little bit. Not only is it getting ridiculous, but now you guys are speculating a second show for AEW. AEW's World Championship is not even 2 years old. How do we think a second show? Could you put another world title in there? Could you really do anything with it that wouldn't make it feel just so new? I mean, I don't know.
At this point, name one company that takes the prestige of their title serious. I'll wait.
I would say New Japan, but now with them unifying titles, I'm a little skeptic on that.
I gotta say AEW probably does it the best.
Yep.
At least right now.
But even so, that second show doesn't have to necessarily have its own title. We don't have to pull WWE. You can have a title or all your champions appear on both shows, split rosters after that. So if you win a title, you now have to double duty it, which is what the WWE should do.
They could just fill it with tag team and women and fill the entire time slot.
They really could.
They already do that.
Have a whole tag team wrestling show, tag teams and trios matches. They really could.
We could have 2 women's segments now, guys. Imagine the possibilities.
Imagine.
Well, we just
didn't we get 2 last night?
There was the 15-team Royal Rumble. That's what it really was. So they at least have 15 teams right up top right there. I also already forget who won that match.
Ray Phoenix and Pac.
Oh, yeah. I was so pissed. They took and I get they're in the death triangle, but how are you going to take one tag team and a single star? I get they're in a faction together and not have the actual tag team Jurassic Express win that and go for the title. And then on the same fucking card had MJF and Chris Jericho. You have 76 different actual fucking tag teams, and your 2 featured tag teams are both tag teams that are 2 single stars put together. Nothing could be more WWE.
You got a fair point.
That was just my rant for that.
Yeah, tag teams should be are low prestige nowadays. No one puts enough stock into it. I think even back in the Attitude Era, when I think it was Triple H and Stone Cold were teaming up, and they fought against the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys should have won because they are a cohesive team. You know there's not enough stock put in that, and that it's frustrating because tag team matches can be so beautifully done if done right, and it just doesn't seem like anyone wants to put the effort into it.
I disagree that there doesn't have to be a brand split. There does have to be a brand split, but it does not have to apply to champions. Because if you didn't have a brand split, when the WWE didn't have a brand split, we ran into this problem. On both shows, you're just seeing the same faces. Because it's going to be whoever is over the most. And I put that in parentheses because it was just Roman Reigns being shoved down our throats for 5 hours a week. Whereas with the brand split, you at least have different people on different shows. But the champion should be able to intercross. That's it. And the stunt Uno spot was a disaster. Yes, it was. Back to what you were saying, Jay. I just like to make sure we keep up on comments.
No. I mean, I was just talking about my desire to see good tag team wrestling.
That's okay. So that's not really, because even Pac and Phoenix are fucking phenomenal together. They are great. But at the same time, they're not an actual tag team. And it's not like Penta was injured. He was in the fucking ladder match. You should have put Pac in the ladder match and had Phoenix and Penta in the tag team, whatever the fuck you call it, Casino Battle Royal, the tag team Royal Rumble. That's really what it...
Jake, buddy, I think you got to remember that the Lucha Brothers left Pac when Pac was injured. When Pac came back, only one half of the Lucha Brothers returned to him at first, and that man was Phoenix. It makes sense that he's tagging with Phoenix. Maybe they're going to ride that line. Maybe there's going to be some more tension with Penta later. Hell, maybe they even take it from the Bucks, and Penta's like, "Why are you tagging with him? You're my brother." And
I can guarantee you the Bucks are not losing that title.
But I would pop for a legit Phoenix versus Penta feud again. I love that. They could fight forever. I would buy all of their matches.
Talking about the two-man power trip, the point was that for them to be two single stars dominating. I mean, let's just go back to TNA. I guess Kurt Angle can win every belt by himself, including the tag team titles.
I don't know. I think we should trust AEW more, guys. It seems like everything they've done so far means something along the line. Like the Inner Circle, Jericho and MJF, they got the
wire exploded match.
That wasn't their fault, man. They got the War Council meeting. Story-wise, like they're doing it to move pieces around, and I dig it. Just like the whole Phoenix and Pac thing. That's just not going to be a title match, and then they lose and it's never talked about again. AEW does not do that. So I can kind of forgive them for doing what they're doing with the tag division right now.
Brian coming up again. AEW is doing too much too fast. I think it would be harmful for AEW to do another show. Yes, they have enough talent, but Dynamite hasn't been around for 3 years yet. Yes, their ratings are okay, but I think it'll be wise for AEW. I don't think it would be wise for them to have another show. I tend to agree with that. I think they should, ride out their success right now, especially really, clamp into what they have, what they've got, and look at expanding a little bit later. I would say ride it out.
Weren't they contractually obligated though to have a second show? I could have sworn that was in their first TV deal.
It was a second 1 hour show. Didn't they start a talk show?
I don't know.
Or am I just no? Okay.
I don't think they have that. But yeah. So they're not just doing it to do this. They're contractually obligated by the network to have the second show.
I think the second show has to be up and running by the end of 2021.
So this all makes sense.
Yeah. AEW is doing too much too fast. I also tend to agree with that. I mean, every single show, there's no time to breathe. They're throwing everything at you very quickly, nonstop. With NXT now moving to Tuesday nights, I think we're going to firmly get to see AEW take a step back and slow down and let some things breathe, which is going to be good for all of us. Go ahead, Jeff.
Their pacing of the show is the same pacing that they have in matches. Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, they're just doing foot shit for no reason. I cause it like a season. Well, what are your thoughts on the ending of the barbed wire exploding death match?
Having heard of it from all of y'all's, because y'all kept me updated like good friends do, good sports network co-workers do, it sounds like it was not a blast.
I want you to know, same amount of disappointment that I felt in the ending to that pay-per-view was the same disappointment my wife feels every night.
I think my joke is a bit more wholesome.
Oh,
Mine is
goodness.
not. Yeah, no, mine is not family friendly. Yeah, rated M for sure, everybody.
Burn. But yeah, it sounded like, you know, from what I've gathered, from what everyone has said, I am not willing to shill out any money to go watch this pay-per-view.
Fair enough.
That's what it comes down to. I mean, mind you, I would love to watch all the wrestling in the world, but from everything that I've heard, this pay-per-view might not be worth the price tag.
See, the ladder match bothered me strongly. They played the fake injury card, which most ladder matches you usually see that. The problem is Cody Rhodes was sitting on the ramp in camera view the entire fucking time. You knew he was coming back. At least move him to Gorilla. Holy shit.
Right. Something.
Cody has always have to have a big story beat like that in every match he has. Every single one. Just this one just didn't work at all.
No. And it was a very, I mean, AEW probably has the best ladder match of all time, quite frankly. They put fucking work into it. Followed by this couple of cool spots. That's all I got.
Oh
That's
my
it. Nothing else. They have a reason, speaking of AEW and their reasons for having a bloated roster. You just have to be up to date on a comedy YouTube show. I've quite frankly never watched Dark. Is it a comedy show? Or is it just
No, he's talking about being the elite.
Oh.
Which is a lie, Wallace, because I've never seen one single episode of Being the Elite. And I get
I've
it.
seen like 4.
I don't know, because I like watching New Japan back when they were all over there. A random guy in a giant teddy suit ran out, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then someone had to explain to me, "Oh, you had to keep up with being the elite. You know what that is?" And I'm just confused.
That was 4 years ago, Jay.
Okay, well, I'm
Get out of
sorry.
the past.
Quite frankly, the Dark Order wouldn't be anywhere near as over as they are. Of course, obviously, Brody Lee dying throws a wrench in that. Let's pretend like for a second that didn't happen. Dark Order before Brody Lee's passing would not have been as over as they are had it not been for being the elite.
Of course, yeah.
So being the elite serves a purpose. It
Yeah,
it
I'm
gives
just saying you don't have to
people
watch
time
the show.
to. Yeah, you don't. You absolutely don't have to. I knew the whole Johnny Hungy thing before I ever saw it on Being the Elite, and I only ever saw it on Being the Elite because I watched the Brody Lee tribute episode.
Not one episode.
Does anybody else have any more comments, questions, or concerns about AEW's Revolution?
Wait, you're not even going to mention
No.
the future of AEW? Bro.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
Hangman Adam Page defeated Matt Hardy with some cowboy shit to win his first quarter earnings. That's what I'm talking about.
In a match that took way too long.
Yeah, there you go. It dragged out. Took way too
About
long.
5 minutes. Yeah, about 5 minutes too long.
Why
This
10
article.
minutes? Why 10?
Matt Hardy looked really good. Adam Page looked like he had no idea where he was in the ring half the time. I actually legit.
He was drunk.
First thing I said was, Adam Page knows better. What the hell is happening here?
There's fighting going on right now.
And then
You cut out. I didn't hear a word you
and then Darby Allin puts on the cinematic match of the year.
Have we had many cinematic matches this year?
Yeah, like,
I mean,
No.
can
The
we
cinematic match of the pandemic era.
0 takes, as many takes as you possibly need. I guess one take technically.
I don't know how many people are going to put Adam Page in an abandoned warehouse to do a coffin dive off of the second floor through whatever the hell was set up there. I don't know if it was a table or like a plank or I don't know, but he absolutely murdered Brian Cage. So like that
Well,
was cool.
obviously they wouldn't have Hangman Page doing that. He'd be fighting in a saloon.
I was gonna say it would be a saloon.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah,
No, in all
he wants
reality,
a
though-
Jeff Hardy.
The old Western Tombstone fan in me is going, yeah, I want to see that now.
Yeah, actually, it would not be bad.
All right, guys, hold on. Are we getting the Stadium Stampede back again? Because that was entertaining as shit.
I agree.
Oh
I
no,
love
you
that
didn't put
match.
in it. Oh,
My favorite part of the Stadium Stampede is the fact that, 3 months ago, Chris Jericho was finally like, yeah. So Tony Khan handed me this, like, authentic challenge flag for the NFL. I have no idea what the fuck this is. How do I even use it? And he had to explain to Chris Jericho how to use the challenge flag that the NFL uses. So great. My favorite part about that. Okay, hold on. Nope.
my man.
The cinematic match wasn't that great. Brian, fighting words, that was a great cinematic match, especially because they were able to legitimately hide the faults that Sting has right now at 61 years old. And that's the point of what they did. They weren't doing the cinematic match because they had to. They were doing this because Sting's fucking 61. Make it as fair for him as possible.
And they had
They had a potential.
Sting very easily could have put on an actual match, and he's going to end up putting on an actual match. But do you want to take that chance with the current internet reception of Sting to put on that match first for Sting? No, you're building Sting back up to what Sting is. And that's what this cinematic match was. Adam Page is so much better than Darby Allin.
I'm still waiting on my article to drop.
Yeah, why haven't you released it yet?
Because I need someone to edit it.
your editors quit.
Yeah, apparently. Awesome. I guess I'll talk to Matt tonight.
I had to use the word necessarily in my article, and I cannot release it with that butchered word. That's what it comes down to.
As long as we don't get another Firefly Funhouse match.
It's coming. You know it's coming at Mania, right? With Orton.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. I don't know. I didn't like the Undertaker AJ Styles cinematic match because it felt like something right out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, so that's not fair.
I dug it.
That was the actual first cinematic match of the pandemic era. We're not dating back to Matt Hardy revolutionizing it in TNA because that was before we had to do cinematic matches.
Okay.
So it's really not fair to use that as the parameter and that as the I didn't like that. Well, that was the first time we'd ever seen it. So you either really liked it or you really hated it. It was no in between. It wasn't. It was okay.
It felt very corny when I can go ahead and look at some of the gravestones and they didn't even do the backs of them so you can see all the wood inside, that it's hollow and everything. It's like, how did that not get taken care of in an editing shot?
Yeah, but Jay, we got kayfabe.
I thought the first time.
Oh, I know.
But we got kayfabe murder on WWE television. Come on. Taker murdered 2 people in cold blood that night and got away with it. Won a trophy for it too. Yeah.
The Boneyard match legitimately got 2 people fired.
Oh, yeah, they did.
In the main event of WrestleMania, and then 3 days later, you're on the unemployment line. So I don't really, when I talk about the Boneyard match, I don't say I like it. I don't say I hate it. Because again, it was the very first one, followed by the Firefly Funhouse match, and that was a train wreck. That was a fucking train wreck. And then after that, I think the very next one was Stadium Stampede, was it not?
I think
I
so.
think it was, yeah.
I love the Firefly
I think
Funhouse.
WWE did one more before Stadium Stampede.
They had that Braun Strowman Bray Wyatt one,
We had a swamp fight.
Yeah,
a
swamp
swamp
fight. That was it.
which I think there was what, like a total of like maybe somewhere in the teens punches thrown, and then that was it. Then people were tied up, and they ended up in a swamp, and there was a lot of close-ups of alligators.
Yeah, they went.
The Money in the Bank as a cinematic match was such a cool concept and had a couple of funny spots. Like the diehards, like us four, and Vince McMahon in jeans. That was great.
I will confess that I turned that pay-per-view off.
And it was an absolute fever dream. What is a fever dream? I'm not young and hip with the kids anymore.
Willy Wonka's Tunnel.
I definitely shouldn't.
I love that segment. The whole match.
The Firefly Funhouse?
Yeah, I loved it. Also, in kayfabe, John Cena is stuck in the Shadow Realm, and it's magnificent. I love it. John Cena, what? Okay, listen to me. John Cena is still stuck in the Funhouse, right? At WrestleMania, we're getting Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton in the Funhouse. When Randy Orton gets sucked into the Funhouse, we're going to get John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. It's going to happen.
If that happens, I will literally order you another pizza.
Okay. You guys, everyone just saw that?
You know what? I'll order you a pizza too, man.
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right.
You're getting 2 pizzas on the same night.
I've been pitching this for over a year. I am so ready for this to happen. Not over a year, but
this is
the night after.
If it was anybody but John Cena.
Anybody but you, John. It's going to be great. Guys, just wait for it.
I'd actually that would probably be the happiest pizza I would ever have delivered.
Yeah.
You know why? If they were able to keep a continuity for that long, yeah, I'd pop for that. The Firefly Funhouse match wasn't supposed to make sense. The whole point of it was to be an acid trip. It was great.
Well, that's the problem
try watching
because
it on acid.
That's the problem because it actually did make sense, and it continually did actually make sense if you were following it. So, that comment's null and void there, Brian. It was literally John Cena against all of his biggest fears throughout his entire career.
And he lost.
Every time.
At this point, I got to just ask, is Brian Team Kraith or is Kraith Team Brian?
I don't know about that. I think Brian's Team Kraith, right, Brian? Brian's down with the Hangman. He's on Team Hangman, so he's on Team Kraith. Yeah.
No, he's
guaranteed. I don't have any backup here. It's just me, all alone.
No, you're the only person in the entire world who thinks that Darby Allin's going to win the world title first.
Ain't got nobody.
Jay, get out of here.
I was gonna say, is that the train horn I hear?
Team Craig. Woo!
Vic, I will super kick you. Watch your mouth. And I'm definitely Team Craig. Yes, Team Craig.
Must be Darren.
Team Craig.
Close enough.
Choo-choos in the chat. Choo-choos in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I love this show.
Oh, goodness. We got, 15 minutes to kill? We got this. You guys want to talk about Raw?
Hashtag Team Craig.
No, we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Oh, man.
How'd you like Rob Martin? I saw something that might have interested you.
Wait,
Yeah,
something actually happened on Raw?
Yeah, I didn't really see Eddie. I didn't really think much of it. It was only the back for me.
So The Miz got a chance to reclaim his WWE Championship, guys. Come on.
I knew he was not gonna win. I knew it. After last week, I knew it.
He got in more offense this time, though.
Yeah,
It was-
but it didn't really count. If he won, he said take the title to WrestleMania, and Drew's gonna beat him.
Well, it was fun getting there, though, right? We'll see how this goes for Mania. Sure.
Yeah, so I put Raw on in the background, and I think I watched all of 13 seconds. So like, I didn't retain a single thing that happened.
If you want to go back and watch anything from Raw, the only thing I would say would be worth it is Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus.
Oh yeah, I
That's
saw them beating the shit out of each other with kendo
Yeah.
sticks. I do remember that now. That's it.
I went to an AJ Styles match. I heard it was pretty decent.
Yeah, but
Styles
Orton
versus
seemed
Orton at
to,
the end, yeah. But Orton did that Orton thing where he got possessed by a demon.
he got Shangoed.
Oh, Shane
Shot
McMahon! Oh no, I saw that.
Ooh,
Oh, boo.
The storyline is just weird.
I don't have
First of all.
cable either, Wallace. I'm just very good at faking.
He pretends to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman storyline is
Awful. Stupid is a good word for it.
stupid is a very good word for it. I guess if we're gonna call Braun Strowman stupid 17 times, we might as well call the storyline stupid. We're gonna get a shitty match at WrestleMania of Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman, and I don't want to see it. Oh, by the way, I'm not switching over to Peacock because they're not automatically doing it for me, so I have zero interest. I am not gonna be watching WrestleManias night 1 or 2.
You're fired, Jake. I'm sorry. You're off the show.
get the order.
Look,
Oh,
when it comes to
shit.
look, I'm not going to say that this is an improvement to the show, but hear me out. We don't
Our
talk.
viewership's spiking.
But at the same time, he makes a good point. I don't plan on switching over to Peacock at all. I have zero plans to do that. Literally none.
It's half the price.
Yeah, I already got
Do
it
it.
because my cable
I'll
provider
take over, take it out.
because it's my cable provider. I get Peacock for free, I think. So I got that.
Well, I mean that's pretty good. So I can't deny free. Free is always good. But even then, I have so many streaming apps already and everything like that. I don't feel like I want to just get another one. So I don't think this is going to be a good move in the end. I really don't.
I mean, the WWE doesn't care about the subscribers because they already got paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, to me, I think WWE, they should not tell people at the start of the Peacock deal that they would have everything on Peacock day one because they lied. They actually lied. Not everything's gonna be on Peacock day one. Everything's gonna be on it before SummerSlam, and they just lied to the fans, and you can't do that.
I mean, I feel like they're giving us pretty good warning. I mean, yeah, okay, so the network's $10 a month. I'm looking at Peacock right now. For the premium tier, it's $5 a month. You get this, you get your network. They also got like, what? Is he back? Nah, he's gone. There he is. But you also get like The Office and Parks and Rec and Modern Family and SNL and stuff like that. So
Do we just back up the train to Martin? The WWE lied to you? No.
No, they lied to the fans.
Cards and fine print subject to change.
Why? Like, it's not surprising.
So Wallace, I have picked up this guy's real name. The only reason that bothers is because Peacock is basically taking the network splits, except it's not. You're only getting the last year of pay-per-views, every WrestleMania 1 through 37, and recent replays of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. That's it.
But now,
At the
it'll take a
beginning.
while.
Brian, We wouldn't. You get all this stuff on Peacock plus WWE Network now for $10 a month. It's a no-brainer. Except you don't get everything. You can't just watch ECW's One Night Stand. Look at the shameless promo for Peacock. No.
Yeah, I'm really good at shameless plugs, Vanity. You want another one? No, I'm just kidding.
No shameless plugs unless approved by management.
Right.
Though.
Although it's management, though, right?
Yeah, Jay. Jay has an ironclad contract.
Highest paid on the network.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, goodness.
Highest paid on the network. I paid for our takeout.
To be fair, I didn't say I would pay. You chose, no, I got this.
No, yeah, I said that you said you were going to go get pizza for us.
Pizza. That was the last thing I wanted when I was in New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's true.
Pizza. No, I have pizza here. I wanted shit that I couldn't get here in New Hampshire. Like a good steak and cheese. Yeah, if you're from Wisconsin, tell me where the fuck to get a good steak and cheese. I'll drive 2 hours for this shit.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a euro, too.
Oh, what?
No, I got a Lebanese place like right down the road that's opening up in the spring. Pretty pumped about that.
Euro.
All right,
also
so
known as a
we're talking about food now. We're gonna get back to wrestling.
Yeah, let's get back.
It makes sense why they wouldn't have everything at first. Yeah, it makes sense, but like,
They should have told us that they had everything.
Exactly. At the beginning of the deal, like, nah, everything's gonna be there. And then, a month away, they're like, nah, JK. Yeah, we know they have 10,000 hours of content, but again, don't tell us it's all going to be there on day one if it's not all going to be. It's as simple as just not lying. That's it.
I mean, a little honesty goes a long way, especially with a company that I think a lot of people are just losing faith in. Now that there's actual competition coming around, in my opinion.
Plot twist. Billy Corgan just pays all the money he's ever made in his terrible Smashing Pumpkins career. And NWA gets a TV deal, and now there's 3T competition.
But is there
You just
really
have
enough?
Go ahead.
Is there really enough quality stars to be able to pull something like that off?
The question is there enough wrestling fans to pull something like that off? I think.
Also a no. I mean, if you go on Thursday where there's nothing, you might be able to pull it off. So you wait by SummerSlam. It's not that hard to wait. Come on, Jake. You're just being pushy now. No, I'm holding them to the letter of the word that they gave us on day one. And that was that everything was going to be available day one on Peacock. I don't care whether it's Peacock that said we're going to change that or WWE that said we're going to change that. I don't care. Don't tell me something and then change it.
I think they also said that they were going to migrate the network people to Peacock, and
they
that's
did.
not happening either.
Nope.
Oh, guys, did you know Impact is live right now? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But I was looking to go see how many views they had. No, they're live right now. And Christian Cage just got a promo on it. They got a bunch of AEW stuff popping off. Anyway, sorry about that.
So Christian Cage is apparently going back to TNA as well. Which
I think they might be showing AEW footage, which is weird, right? That's kind of weird.
That is a bit weird.
Yeah, now there's a Dark Order
thing why
thing
Christian
going.
had a remix of his TNA theme, though.
It does. The layers. I do love this whole forbidden door being smashed open. It's got so many layers that you can try to dissect. Be completely wrong with it.
We haven't seen enough of the of the Impact side going to AEW to make me say this is making sense. No, you just have a bunch of AEW guys showing up in Impact, and I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
what is AEW really getting out of this deal?
Well, I just watched Tony Khan cut a promo on Impact, and it looks like they're previewing their entire Wednesday night card live right
so
now
like
to about
48.
people. Yeah, it's 4,800 people in the chat right now. But yeah, they're going through each of their match, so it's obviously free publicity. I'll go back and check their VODs, but
You said 4,800 or 48,000?
4,800, and they actually have like commercials playing for AEW and like order the recap. Like these are legit AEW commercials going.
Yeah, that's been happening since day one of this deal.
Yeah, but it is a big deal, man. What? It's not a big deal.
I didn't say. I said it's since the beginning of this deal.
Oh, I thought you said it's not a big deal. Like what? This is
been
huge.
Happening since day one. Look up the Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone like 90 style promos that they've been doing on Impact. They're fucking hilarious and phenomenal.
Yeah, that one was cool. That one, but this one was live that I just watched.
Yeah, well, last week they had half of the AEW roster on it. Like, hey, these are all the people that you guys screwed up. They're now with us. Like,
we got 2 minutes. 2-minute warning. We got a siren.
All right, Jay, take us home.
So, over at New Japan, the New Japan Blitz, the New Japan Cup tournament is underway, and it's going to be awesome. There's a whole bunch of awesome matches. Because I'm on a silly schedule, haven't been able to keep up with them, but they're happening. And my prediction is I'm going to go with Suzuki. Suzuki wins. He challenges Ibushi. They slap each other a lot, and it's awesome. There you go. New Japan Blitz.
Question for you, Jay.
What's that?
Are you actually on a train right now? Because that looks a lot like a wooden door of an office.
We may be waiting on other trains to pass us by at one of our yard offices. Maybe.
I just had the question.
Or we could go ahead and keep it kayfabe and say that I'm somewhere in Wisconsin. Did I get it right?
You did. You did get it right.
and that I'm still chasing you down for that super kick. It's going to happen, and we're going to post it off TikTok and Facebook and everything else, just like we had to do for me. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the Game Changer Sports Network. This has been the Ringside Roundup. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us. Once again, I am your host, JD. We've got the smartest man in the room, Martin Lee, the boss, the owner, Mr. Jake Jollymore, and the ever-handsome bearded one, Adam Wraith. You all have a good night.
He's only handsome until he loses that hair.
Ah! You wish.